Hello everyone, welcome back to some more the bottom mod for Rise of the Witch King. With the final, technically, faction. The second sub-faction of the Misty Mountains, the orcs of Goblin Town. Oh, it's going to be a fun time down in Goblin Town. Let me say that. So unlike their brothers, the orcs of Gundabad, we are what the goblins were to begin with. I'm just going to start out with the Goblin Town Cavern, which trains goblin scavengers and hobgoblins, which is our first tier units. We do start with these warg riders, same as if we were to start with Gundabad, but we can't do anything with them because we don't have their specific upgrades. But they're still stronger than most. I'm going to start with the same power as we did last time, drums in the deep. But this time we are going to rush for the Balrog because I want to see if that still works. And you might also notice that we've got a new, instead of having our scavenger power for the fortress, we now have a new thing we can make. The Goblin Shaman can summon totems in order to build structures. That's right, we have the most structure freedom of any faction. And our units are the cheapest, 30 gold. And I'd say they're about the same power level as a unit of orc warriors, but just a little bit weaker. But for 50 less, with about 50-50, about recruiting about 10% faster, I'd say. And they get Pillager. Yeah, they're pretty good. This is what the Wildman of Dunland unit should be. A super cheap unit that can be spammed out. And then we also get our Goblin Warriors, which are also cheaper than Orc Warriors. We get our Goblin Archers, our Goblin Spearmen. Then we get some more powerful units, the Hobgoblins. And our Goblin... well, used to be Goblin Drummer from here, but we actually get the Goblin Drummer from here now. Because obviously it makes more sense that it comes from there. For reasons. And that unit's already dead. Because they are super weak, like I said. Oh no, they're not. Oh my god, we're against Gundabad. Okay. So who's the better orc? Who's the better Misty Mountains faction? Gundabad or Misty Mountains? We shall see. Well, Gundabad or Goblin Town. We can get the Spider Pit, but it does require the Mountain Chieftain spell power. Get the Goblin Workshop, and this is our Troll Burrow. Not as majestic, but definitely as effective. Yeah, the main thing about Goblin Town is everything is cheap, everything is low command points, except for the Hobgoblins. I say that is our best unit, infantry-wise. And instead of getting wild cages, we get spider nests. Which I'm going to make to show off because they are cool. And I think... No, I know we didn't lose a builder. We do get a few changes to our things here. We still get the bats. But we now get razor spines, which is obviously, as you can imagine, poison arrows instead of serrated arrows. So instead of armor piercing, we have poison. The Goblin Porch. All buildings around the fortress get repaired over time, so it's even better Isengard power. So again, some factions are better than Isengard because they have things that are better than them. And we have our own drummer. It's better than a troll drummer because it only costs 150. Goblins around him gain experience and armor. Yep, he is really good. Still a bit ill. I'm going to get some archers. I'm going to also make some hobgoblins. Because I say they are better than the Gundabad orcs, but they are not better than like any other elite units. This faction does not know the concept of elite units. Even our trolls, or ogres as they're called, are weak units. I mean, we do have our own cave trolls too, which are slightly better, but still pretty bad. And then we get the favourite thing I love about this, the one thing that I think should be Lord of the Rings canon. The Siege Troll. That's our siege equipment. A troll that literally just shoots. Yeah. Let's leave it at that. Well, yeah, just hurls is there siege equipment on top of a troll. So cool. The Shaman can place skull totems on the map anywhere until destroyed and serves for base expansion. Buildings near the skull totems plate armor and its production speed, and nearby friendly units gain horde members each 10 seconds. So it also counts as your well. But you do also get the ettenmoors drum as your experience building, which allows Goblins of Moria upgrade. And units near the drum gain experience and damage. So it's more just like a heroic statue, whereas the Shaman creates your wells with the totem. But it's also extremely important to make these everywhere. Because, as you can now see, we can further expand our base. And it is a pretty big range too. Very easily destroyed, I'll admit. Very easily destroyed. But if it's not destroyed, you can get some really good value out of that. And we have the ogres, which are self-healing or trolls, and they drain health from each strike. So yeah, 450 draining health. That's pretty good for a cheap unit. I mean, granted, not cheap for the orcs. But then we also have Shaman's Influence. Goblin units around gain double health permanently. Obviously, no Goblin unit is going to last forever. But the fact that you get that is big. The fact you can make them last longer. And then you can give a heal as well. And you can get a total of 3 of those. So it's like the Overseer unit, but a million times better, honestly. Heroes. We have Grinnar. We have Gorkill, which I'm going to get now. Because, oh, everyone loves our favourite scorpion riding orc. Goblin. Technically an orc. Hobgoblins can drain health and gain damage with each strike for a limited time at level 2. And they get the wedge formation, which apparently the unit must be near Durbers to do this. But since Durbers doesn't... Oh, no, he does. No, he does. Okay, I guess he just got rid of that, but not the text. There's Gorkill. And he starts with Untamed Allegiance. That's right, you find any lair anywhere and he can steal it. And in fact, I'm going to do that right now. Yeah, another thing to know about these ogres. Yeah, they have AoE attacks. Yeah, they're cool and all. But put them anywhere near a spear and they are just dead meat. Literally, just meat. There's it in there, so there has to be something good. And now let's get Glinnar, which has, I think, 3 quotes. Dwarves your malevolence, find them on the front porch, and your malevolence. Those are his 3 quotes. That's all he gets. Anyway, oh, we're going to get a troll. We're going to get a troll. We got a troll. We got a troll. We saw a troll. Ha 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 ha. Oh, we got 700 resources for free. And we can then get the special Moria cave troll, which is a maximum of 1. Train an old cave troll that dwells in the pits of Moria. So this is the cave troll that beat the entire fellowship around like ragdolls. Yeah, we just get to make that from a troll cave. It technically costs 3,000 to make, but it's worth it. And this is what the troll is meant to look like, not a messed up attack troll. Let's just get that straight. It's meant to look like this, not what I showed off in my Gundabad video. But yeah. And then we can make the Wild Scouts at a third of the price from our inns. Grinnar. Passive power. With each strike, enemy units get scared for 3 seconds and lose speed, because he has a whip. Goblins around Grinnar gain armor, damage, and speed. Goblins around Grinnar gain damage. Level 6 enemy heroes and units are stunned for 10 seconds. Enemy heroes and units are stunned for 5 seconds and lose 25 armor at level 10, but it's also a larger radius. And then at level 10, he summons Phoenix or Goblin Mercenaries, which are just the Goblin Town Goblins. Let's now get that Cave Troll. I can't have enough command points. Yeah, that's the one thing about the Goblins of Goblin Town. They don't have many ways to keep refreshing their command points, because they don't have the outpost building. They have the Goblin King Throne, which is a very fun thing to play around with if you get the Goblin King. And yes, technically we have 1, 2, 3 Goblin Chieftains. We have Gorkil, who has control over the High Pass and ettenmoors. We have Durbers, who has control over is the chieftain of Moria. And then we have the Great Goblin, which is the leader of the Goblins of Goblin Town. Found them on the front porch. I think it's time we start saying hello to everyone. Same up for Mountain Chieftain, because we do have another building to show off, which, yeah, we don't get any elite special units. We get Spiderlings and Goblin Spider Riders. That is our elite units. That is our elite unit roster. They are in league with elves. Yeah, look at those ogres go. Level 1 Skull Totem is not the same Skull Totem as the chieftains, the what's it called, shamans make. They're completely different, and they're okay. I'd say they're okay. Let's get the Mountain Chieftain's power now. Let's get the Spider Pit going, because we all love the Spider Pit. It's going to be a while before we get the Great Goblin, but we can't do anything about it. But we can now get the Moria Cave Troll and have a look at that big, beautiful beastie. Because even though our units do end up taking quite a few command points, they die really fast. Like I said, we are the quintessential Horde faction. We have so many different forms of buffing our units. It's not even funny to say that they're bad, because Grenar has 1, 2 buffs which give them in a total 125% damage. And then he can make units. We literally have to give so many buffs to our units for them to actually do damage. But then we have our siege trolls, so yeah, it kind of balances out. He's almost here. One of our best units. There he is. Big boy himself. With the chain. That's right. He's got that bling. Oh, I'm trying really hard not to just cough my... Also, why do they have the old building? Wait a second. Do the AI Misty Mountains, they seem to be completely the same as before. Yeah, because they have this form of tower, but this isn't the new form of tower. This is the old tower. We don't have that tower in our... Okay, so that's real. So it seems like the way the sub-factions work doesn't seem to affect the AI. It seems that they've still got the old versions of the old versions of Goblin Town and Gundabad, if they can get Goblin Town, that is. They might just be stuck to Gundabad. be. As you can see, this guy is an absolute badass. 6,000 health. Gorkill doesn't even have 6,000 health. He's at level 8. We could probably swarm the enemy base and win. But I have other plans. And for now, I just want to show off. So my beautiful level 7 troll and Gorkill and the drummer, because I feel generous for the drummer, can go back while everything else dies, giving us power points. I think that's the thing. You buy a lot of cheap units, and you can sell. You don't sell them, but you let them die by destroying enemy buildings to get power points, which then feeds into getting even stronger units, and then it just falls up from there. So let's just get the mists of the mountains, and as for the spider pits. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. We have spiderlings, we have goblin spider riders, and we have venom sacks. GG, that is all we get. But we do get to make the goblin poison at level 3 of that pit. And the fire powder cart, which goblin cart loaded with fire powder barrels, blast units and structures when deployed. It's basically a cheap version of the... They're still fighting. What? Okay, did me using the Mists of Moria literally screw with the AI, or are they just not doing anything? It might be a mix of both. In which case, everyone retreat. Everyone retreat. I'll sell all of the goblins. Sorry. I'm trying to die quietly, but it's not really working for me. Move faster, goblins. Hammer of the Deeps causes a small earthquake which deals knockback damage. I mean, wow, that's pretty impressive. And Hardened Skin gains 50% armor against slash and pierce attacks. So it basically gets everything. Cool. And he has a mini earthquake. Yeah. Goblin Town are a very patchwork faction. With quite literally everything just being a... I'm trying to think of the best way to describe Goblin Town without sounding offensive. They're basically like a plague. And, yeah, I just can't do it. I just can't do it without sounding insulting. How to put what the goblins are. I guess you could say that they're just the ultimate horde faction. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Everything about them, every building is completely in. There's no like synergy between them, like with Oh god, I'm making myself sound terrible right now. I'm not making any sense. All the units from the Goblin Cave come from Moria. Here comes from Goblin Town, and here comes from Mirkwood, and here comes from the Ettenmoors. All of these different regions, all across the Misty Mountains, coming into one faction. It's just like, it's a patchwork. It's just a, it's just a beautiful bunch of misfits. I can't think of any good reference. Oh well. It'll do. But yeah, that's it. They're the Skaven. They are these guys are literally the Skaven of Warhammer. Every unit, every thing is just completely. It's all a bit weird how everything works together and how at the same time they don't. But unlike with the Misty Mountain, the rest of the Misty Mountains, Gundabad, all of their units are part of the story of Azog. All the trolls come from Gundabad, or from the ettenmoors, because you know that's where they normally dwell. All the troll shores. All their orc units come from Gundabad. But literally, we only have 2 elite units, and they're both coming from Mirkwood because they're spider themed. Our Goblin town units are all more disgusting and mutilated because they quite literally inbreed with themselves, probably. But they're used to it, and so they don't care. But the Goblin units of Moria, they're slightly more. They look more armored, and probably have a bit of armor to them if I had any left. Yes, they can actually purchase armor because they're used to, because they ransacked the greatest dwarven hold, and so exist in there, so they get they get the special treatment of having armor. Obviously, the hobgoblins they just have armor to begin with, so they're a fun niche unit as well. It's so hard to explain. It really is hard to explain. But yeah, it's all just a mixed match of everything. And they're taking my building. What's this building? Blood sacrifice. Sacrifices his goblins in order to restore his health. Yeah, that sounds about right. See, your Moria units are your armored units. Your Goblin town units are your pillagers and your aggressive units. Your troll units are from everywhere. Just your more powerful, monstrous units. That is your siege equipment. That's it. They're your siege equipments, and they're siege monsters. And they saw that, didn't they? Yep. Steal it back. And then your elites are from Mirkwood, because, let's face it, you're getting help from Big Daddy Sauron up top. I want to get the Great Goblin, but he costs 5,000. It's so stupid. And then we can also get Drogoth, but we need to get the Dragon Nest, which requires currently 3,150 to get, and then he costs 8,000. Oh no, we're not getting that far. Without Scavenger, the Goblins do not have resources. And unfortunately, we don't have Azog to give us commands, so we don't actually get that. We get Wicked Blades, which again can come onto these units. We can give these units upgrades. Don't know why you would, because it's still pretty bad. And I should be building towers and such, because they are constantly raiding my base, destroying my buildings, and I'm getting annoyed. And I thought that I was going to have trouble winning. I thought I wasn't going to have any trouble winning. Nope. I was wrong. Good to know I was wrong. I should probably stop buying everything, so I can now get the Goblin King. Great Goblin. I don't care. What? I can't see the mercenary units. It looked like Grenard teleported. Come on, Goblins. This is your advantage. Kill them all. If Grenard dies, he dies. We'll just get him back. He's cheap as chips anyway. I mean, only 12 points away from the Balrog. Oh, I can't wait. And we got a level 9 troll. Hammers of the Deeps. And he's angry. 1, 2, 3. Does no damage to buildings. Okay, good to know. But we now can get the Balrog of Morgoth. This was fast. And do we actually get to see the Balrog? Yes! Ignites, same as always. Fire Whip, same as always. Scream, same as always. Breathe Fire, same as always. And Shadow Wing, same as always. Only difference is he's stronger. Look at this. Go. Ooh. Yeah, I thought that was okay. And then the one ability you always want to see, because it's the Goblin King, just summon Fire Drakes. That's right, I don't need the power to summon a Fire Drake. I've got Gore Kill. And then we've got the Great Goblin King, who hungers, gives goblins fear resistance, summons armoured guards to his aid, gives vast amount of experience to units, and then he has a song, which in Age of the Ring is his first ability. Yeah, we kind of wasted the Balrog. Oh, that's a nice little effect. Wow, they built that far behind? Come on, people. I just want him to fly. It was beautiful. Well, I would like to say there's more to the goblins, but there really isn't, because you don't really want to be giving them their armor upgrades, because it's kind of wasted on them. We've already seen everything about this building, because it's exactly the same. You get Gold Thimble, and then you get the half trolls. So yeah, there's quite literally nothing new, well, too new, to show off, other than what I've already shown off. Because Goblin Town is so easy to just show. It's so easy. And that was a very quick victory. I say 26 minutes in. Oh, I wish I could have done some of that a little bit better. But I'm unfortunately still a little bit ill and a bit tired because I waited an hour for the first video to get so I could get this one out. So yeah, that's every faction for the bottom mod being revealed currently, because Angmar is not in this current patch, and that is every faction. So for everyone that's currently still watching, I'm going to do a quick little review to make this video a little bit more interesting and longer, because you know. So Gondor, I currently think are my favourite faction. They've been given a lot of good love. They've got a lot of new units, making them so much more fun to play. And I've actually gotten a very fun adaptive playstyle, which can be changed, which is hard to find in a faction. Lothlorien, pretty much the same. Got a few small changes, but other than that, the sprinkling of the lottery of the wood elves is fun. But other than that, I say they're fine as they are, and they don't need any other changes. Erebor, from what I remember of them, feel like they've got too many units. There's too much in general. Maybe they just need cutting down a few things. Maybe put the Iron Hills building related to the fortress. Instead of getting units, you just build the fortress, the building itself, and it's a limited time thing. It'll make it a lot easier to keep all that nonsense into one thing. Mordor could possibly do with another nerf, because they still feel really, really good. Still very quick early game faction. I mean, it took me half an hour to win with the Misty Mountains, and it took me 17 minutes to win with Mordor. Yeah, I think Mordor's still too good. Isengard, oh my god, do something, because they need help. That's all I'm going to say about it. And Misty Mountains, very fun, very adaptive playstyle depending on who you're playing against. You can choose who you play as, depending on who you're playing against. If you're playing against Mordor, you might want to go as Misty Mountains to counter their spam. If you're against Isengard, you could just, again, go Goblin Town to just rush them down. But if you're against a good faction, I would recommend going Gundabad, because the elite units you get at the very end game are much better against the elite troops of the good factions. So you've all enjoyed my bottom mod overview for everything in general. From here on, I will be going back to the Edine mod for a while, because they've made a lot of good changes. I've waited a few years, a few years for these changes to happen, and I will not be denied seeing everything with my eyes and getting to tell you all about it. But until then, I hope you've all enjoyed. I'm going to get some sleep because, oh, I'm so tired right now. And ta-ta for now.